Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and yes, I am still alive. I'm sorry, I have not been making, videos this week. Literally, this week has been the craziest week of my life. And that's not a bad thing, because it was all for my school musical. I mean, Monday, I had no time at all. I did not get home till, like, 10 o'clock, and then I had to do homework, and I just did not have the time. Tuesday, I did not get home till 10:45. I had to do homework, didn't have the time. Wednesday, I didn't have time. Thursday was opening night. I would have had time, but I still had homework. Yesterday, I did not get home till 1 o'clock in the morning because we all went to the diner after the second show, and tonight's the last night of the show. So, tomorrow night, tomorrow I will be able to review some more stuff to you guys, and I am going to review stuff now. The only thing that I could watch, in my spare time was Glee. So that's the first thing I'm going to review you guys. So, this is going to be my review for Glee Season 5, episode 12, episode 11, City of Angels. And I really, honestly, guys, I wasn't looking forward to this episode. I wasn't, because of the last competition episode that they did. The last competition episode was complete shit. It was not good. Now, why did I, you guys know my whole rant about that. You guys want to see my rant on that, go look at it somewhere else. They were not focused when they did it that time. It wasn't focused. This episode is a major, major improvement, though, and quite possibly could be my favorite episode of the season. It definitely could be my favorite episode. Now, and they really cared more about nationals in this episode. They really made it seem like a huge deal in this episode. And I mean, even though we haven't gotten a lot with nationals, they really did, did a great job with this episode. So, let's just get to it. And in fact, it probably is my second favorite competition episode. Besides Season 3 Nationals, this is my second favorite. Let's just get to it. So, this episode primarily, there's no New York in this episode till the very end. And I kind of like the way they did that because we got to see them go to Nationals. That's what this was all about. So Will's talking to all them, telling them they're going to Nationals. But he tells them that there's a surprise for them. The surprise is that Bert and Carol, they're honoring Finn in their performance. That's their job. They're going to honor Finn, and Bert and Carol are going to come with them. So they're really excited about this, and they're all ready to go to LA and things like that. They now have 3 cheerleaders that have joined them. That's what he tells them. He says that we now have 3 cheerleaders that have joined us, and they're all ready to go to Nationals. And they really made it seem like a huge deal. So they sing the song "I Love LA," which I really, really loved. I thought they did a great job with that song. Before this had happened, though, we did see Will talk to Sam. He wants Sam to kind of be the new leader now, because he, as you know, was very close with Finn. Finn was like a brother to him. Because if you remember, Finn and Rachel took Sam in Season 3, and Sam was staying at Finn's, apartments. Sam was staying there. So, Finn really took Sam in and really was a great mentor to him. So Sam is really going through a hard time, but Will wants him to try to be a leader to the Glee Club while they go to Nationals. So it's really fun though and everything. But there was also, the Hummels chaperoning. As I said, they are chaperoning. But what happens is, when they get there, they meet their competition throw Explosion, which honestly was very funny. Blaine says that, he knows about them from show choir blogs, and I love the part where, he's like, wait, no one has read show choir blogs? And Kitty's like, yes, Blaine, nobody has, no one has except you. It was really funny. Definitely, I really like that. But they meet Jean Baptiste, and John Baptiste, I love his character. Because he's not a really mean character, he's just a very competitive person. He's not, mean or anything, though. He's willing to do battle with them, but if they go too far, he's like, no, come on, man, don't do that. And I really like that he did that. I really like this character in the episode. I wish we would have seen a little bit more of this character before, but I really liked his character in the episode. I thought he was really funny, and I really liked, his character. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I really liked his character in the episode. So then after this, we do get to see, Bert and Carol. They do arrive, and it wasn't really a great idea, though, because she's still, we see that Carol is definitely still grieving. And by the way, Rosie Rosemont in this episode, I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name, Whoever plays Carol did an amazing job in this episode. Great performance from her. Definitely should get Emmy nominee because this was just because those tears were real. Again, those tears were real. I wasn't expecting this much crying in the episode, but I really appreciated it a lot. So Tina kind of, Tina is complaining about senior year and everything. Carol kind of makes this comment to Tina and basically says, Tina's saying, I can't believe graduation's approaching, I'm not going to have a life, and Carol says, well, at least you still have a life, and Tina really feels bad after this, and Carol thinks it was the wrong thing to say, and at this point, they're ready to leave, they want to leave, and that's what happens, they're ready to leave, and they want to leave. So that's what ends up happening there, and it was really sad, actually. Now, at the same time, Sam and Blaine are still trying to bring all of them together. They're trying to bring all of them together to honor Finn. That's what they want to do here. They want to honor Finn, and that's just what they want to do. They want to do this in Finn's memory, and they say that, Finn would be proud of them, and I really like that scene. I thought it was a really nice scene between all of them, and I definitely really enjoyed it a lot. That was fantastic. I really love that. He said Finn is with them wherever they go, and they know he's the loudest one cheering for them. So, also, we saw Mercedes again, and it was great to see Mercedes. I'll get to that with the subplot, but it's then time for the Nationals. And Nationals, again, really seemed like a big deal here. I really like that they did that. I really felt like they really cared about Nationals. It wasn't just like they half-assed it or everything. They really cared about Nationals. They really cared about what they were doing. And I like that. I like that we did get to see them actually, they really cared about Nationals. I really enjoyed that. What ends up happening is that it is time for Nationals. And first we see this one group, the Amazonians. They performed this on vacation. I thought they did a nice job. I liked it. And then Throw Explosion went up. They did Mr. Roboto and Counting Stars. Really great performance from them. I thought Skylar Aston sounded amazing there. I really loved that performance. I really loved all the songs this week. I thought they were great. Really, really great. And so they did that song, but then it's their time to go on. And before they go on, though, Finn and Blaine, Sam and Blaine are still honoring Finn, and the Hummels are not there. They think they've basically gone at this point. However, once they come, they realize they do need to come, and they realize their mistake in leaving. They're lucky to arrive in time to watch Finn's team sing all of his favorite songs. And their performance, honestly, was amazing. Again, it really felt like they cared about what they were doing with Nationals. They started with More Than a Feeling with Tina and Blaine. Great way to close that friendship. Great way to do that. Really loved their duets of More Than a Feeling. It was great. Then they did America, which was also amazing. And then the tears came, because then they did I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, which I was crying during that when they showed the flashbacks. I did not expect them to show flashbacks during that, and it was amazing when they did that. But I was crying, definitely, and that was an amazing performance. Definitely one of the best group performances we have had in a very long time, and that is something that we're going to be talking about this whole season. That's probably one of the biggest moments of the entire season is I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, and I thought they did an amazing job with that. All the seniors sang it, and it was just, it was so amazing. But I was crying during it because it really was amazing. And he really was. You really get to see that he was a huge part of the club. But despite their efforts, the judges, really didn't, it's then time for them to figure out who won first and second place. And they did say, though, that before Berg and Carol did say that no matter what happens, Finn could feel them singing those songs. Carol said she felt closure with those songs. She felt like she got to say goodbye to him through those songs. And I just thought that was amazing the way they did that. So it's time for her to see who won. The New Directions do not win. They placed second place. And because of this, if you remember, Will and Sue had this deal. Will and Sue had this deal that they had to win first place in order to do it. Now, I really like the way Sue handled this, She wasn't mean. She wasn't malicious. She actually was kind of a friend to Will. She actually, I really love the way she handled it. I love when we get to see nice Sue. I love when we get to see Sue kind of be a friend to Will. I really like that. It's very rare. But it's usually in these competition episodes that we get to see her be a friend to him, and I really enjoy that. Sue pretty much tells Will that the Glee Club needs to be disbanded, and it's really not her choice. She said she did everything she could in her power to fight for it, and I believe her with this. I do. I believe her. She did everything in her power she could to fight for the Glee Club, But unfortunately, there's budget cuts, and again, it's really not her fault. This happens to schools. Sometimes things get cut, and it's a really great way to end this whole storyline. And I like the way they're doing it. I do like it. I do feel it's kind of a cheap ending, but I love her speech to him. She said, chin up, you guys won all these other competitions. Just one competition is not going to be bad, Just because the club isn't as good anymore, you guys still have one nationals trophy in there, which you have a lot to be, happy about, and you shouldn't worry about, because you guys are going to be just fine. I loved that speech from her. It was so amazing, and I really loved the way that was done. It was so good. I absolutely love the way she did it. It really was great. She did tell them, though, that, it really is the end. The band instruments are going to be sold. There are going to be new computers. The choir room's going to get turned into 2 different classrooms. And it really is sad. But, however, I love the way that ended there. I love the way that ended. And then we finally get New York. Kurt finds out of this, runs up to Santana and Rachel, says the Glee Club's being disbanded. He thinks it's Sue's fault at this point, and they're going to try to get it back next week. So it's a good way to shift from the from what we got. It was a good way to do that. I like the way they did that. That was very funny, actually. So yeah, I really love the main plot. I did not expect to love it as much as I did, and I absolutely love it. Quite possibly my favorite episode of the season. Let's get to the subplot, though, because there was a little bit of a subplot in there. Basically closure to Marley and Jake and Ryder and where they're going to go after Glee Club. Marley admits to Ryder, Ryder and Marley are not dating, first of all, which I was kind of surprised about. I wish we would have gotten to see them date, but unfortunately, because they're closing out that storyline, we're probably not going to see anything else from them. Ryder sees Marley. He sees that Marley's coming down in the dumps, and Marley, he goes up to her. We find out that she has submitted these original songs to a contest, and they said that they were not good. So Marley, at this point, is planning on quitting the Glee Club. She's not coming back next year. And Ryder really gets upset by this. He has a talk with Jake, and I love the closure in Jake and Ryder's storyline. Ryder says to Jake, we weren't friends, but I want to be friends. I don't want this situation to get us down. I don't want this to happen to us. I don't want this to be the end of our friendship. It's silly. We shouldn't let something like this come between us. And Jake, honestly, not a douchebag anymore. He really does feel bad for what he did to Marley. So him and Jake decide to go to Mercedes, because Mercedes, as we know, is living in LA. And I also love that we got to see some of Mercedes' backstory, with, what she's been doing. That was really great. We find out with Mercedes, though, that she tells Marley that this is not the end. She should not let one contest get her down, and everything's going to be okay. So Marley's not quitting. And it was great to see closure to her storyline. I really did love seeing that. That was great. And that's basically our episode. So honestly, just, such a great episode. I did not expect to cry as much as I did in this episode. I did. I cried in this episode, and I did not expect it. I didn't. I love that they focused on the Glee Club this episode and not on New York. New York did not need to be in this episode. It was really great. But next week is the 100th episode, which is gonna be amazing. Everybody's coming back. Quinn's coming back. Brittany's coming back. Even April and Holly Holiday are coming back. It's gonna be really, really great. And this episode this was my second favorite competition episode by far. By far the best episode of the season. The tears were real in this episode. I don't really count the quarterback as an episode of the season, because that was just them grieving over Finn. However, this one was the best morning episode. It was like a part 2 to that, and I really liked the way they did that, because it was a great way to end things. But that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed. What do you guys think of this episode? Are you upset that it did not place first? I'm not surprised, because Thor Explosion worked day and night. They kind of did things last minute. Did you like seeing Bert and Carol again? Do you think we're going to see Ryder, Marley, and Jake again? Do you think that was the end of that storyline? Not much for Kitty to do. I hope we get a closure to that with her and Artie next week. I really hope we do. Unique was hilarious as well. Unique had some great lines. Did you like Mercedes' backstory? Did you like that the Glee Club's being disbanded? Do you think they deserve it? That's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. My next review will be for Switched at Birth, so see you then. And by the way, I'm probably going to be able to put out at least 4 reviews today, so I will see you guys for that. Bye.